Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear students, Assalamu Alaikum. I am Yasir Hussain from Pakistan Studies Department, Army Public School and College, Ordnance Road, with the lecture number 6, and it's about the Pakistan resolution. The objectives of our topic are: trace the background of the Pakistan resolution, highlight the Lahore session of the Muslim League and adoption of Pakistan resolution, identify the salient features of Pakistan resolution, and analyze and describe the importance of Pakistan resolution. Dear students, before proceeding further, just recall the previous lecture in which we have discussed about the background and reasons for the establishment of the Khilafat movement, the important events of the Khilafat movement and its objectives, and then the results and the consequences of the Khilafat movement. Now, coming to the today's topic, that is the Pakistan resolution. First of all, as an introduction, it was an annual session of All India Muslim League that was held at Iqbal Park, Lahore, from 22nd of March to 24th of March 1940. Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah presided over the session, and a number of great personalities all over the subcontinent were present on the occasion. The resolution was presented by the Tiger of Bengal, A.K. Fazl Haq, and the resolution was adopted unanimously. So, on this historical day, the Muslims identified their destination. Dear students, now we will discuss about the factors and the causes that led to the passage of the Pakistan resolution. So here, as a background, first of all, the first point we are going to discuss is that of the two-nation theory. Students, we have already discussed this point in the very first lecture of this chapter number 1 about the definition of ideology, Pakistan ideology, and the two-nation theory. The Muslims believe that by virtue of their faith, they are a separate nation from the rest of the world. And in related to the subcontinent, the two major nations were living over there, that is the Hindus and the Muslims, who were different from each other in their religion, culture, and everything. Therefore, the term comes as the two-nation theory. So, in order to practice Islamic teachings, Muslims need a separate state. So, this was the first factor of the passage of the Pakistan resolution. The second factor or the cause is that of the Hindu extremism. The Muslims and the Hindus lived together for about 1000 years, but the two nations never intermingle with each other. The Hindu extremists made it clear to the Muslims that they had no place in India. The Muslims should either embrace Hinduism or quit India. Dear students, the third important factor is that of Allama Iqbal's Allahabad address. You know, in 1930, during his presidential address on the occasion of annual session of the Muslim League, Allama Iqbal demanded for a separate nation for the Muslims of the India. He proposed that the Muslim majority northwestern part of the subcontinent may be converted to a separate nation. Dear students, the next very important factor in this regard is that of the oppressive Congress rule. You know that Congress ministries were formed in 7 out of total 11 provinces in the subcontinent in 1937 after the victory of Congress in the elections of 1937. So after that, bad governance and oppressive rule of the Congress created discontentment among the Muslims. So this oppressive rule compelled the Muslims to demand for a separate homeland. You know that in 1939, when the Congress ministries resigned, the Muslims observed the Day of Deliverance. योम नजात मनाया था इन्होंने जब कांग्रेस की मिनिस्ट्रीज ख़त्म हुई थी. Students, another important factor or the cause for the passage of the Pakistan resolution was that of the popularity of the Muslim League as a political party and as a representative of the Muslims in the subcontinent. So during the Congress oppressive rule, as we have discussed earlier, Quaid-e-Azam remained in touch with the Muslims. He convinced the Muslims that if Congress were entrusted to rule the whole of the India, then it would be horrible for them. As a result of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah's efforts, Muslim League emerged as a sole representative of the Muslims in India. During this Lahore session of the Muslim League, Quaid-e-Azam in his historical address identified the direction for the struggle of the Muslims. According to him, the Muslims are a separate nation because their customs, traditions, culture and religion is different from Hindus. Both Muslims and Hindus have their distinctive identification. Here is one quote extracted from the address of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, in which he said, "Under the plea of unity of India and one nation, which does not exist, it is sought to pursue here the line of one central government. We know that the history of the last 1200 years has failed to achieve unity and has witnessed India during the ages always divided into Hindu India and Muslim India." He said, "Muslims are a nation according to any definition of a nation, and they must have their homeland. We wish to live in peace and harmony with our neighbors as a free and independent people." Now, as far as the adoption of the Lahore resolution was concerned, after the speech of Quaid-e-Azam on 22nd March, on 23rd of March, the Chief Minister of Bengal, Maulvi Fazl Haq, presented the Lahore resolution, which later came to be known as Pakistan resolution and was adopted in the last session of the meeting on March 24th. First Pakistan Day was celebrated on 23rd March 1941. Therefore, you know that every 23rd March we are celebrating the Pakistan Day, and the main event of this day is that of the parade by the armed forces of Pakistan. Students, now we will discuss about the salient features of the Lahore Resolution. The resolution embodied minimum demands regarding the political status of the Muslims. The Muslims resolved in unambiguous terms that they will only accept a constitutional formula regarding the independence of the subcontinent. The first salient feature was that of the federal scheme, which was disapproved by the Muslim League. The federal scheme formulated in the Government of India Act 1935 is absolutely unsuitable for the Indian conditions. Therefore, the Indian Muslims will never accept it. The second salient feature of the Lahore Resolution was that of the establishment of independent states, and this was the most important point of the Lahore Resolution. Here it was clearly stated that a constitution acceptable for the Muslims of India shall be based on certain following principles. Here, geographically contiguous units be demarcated into the regions in which the Muslims are numerically a majority, as in the northwestern and eastern zones of India, should be grouped to constitute independent states in which the constituent units shall be autonomous and sovereign. This was actually the main demand of the Pakistan Resolution, where the Muslim League demanded for a separate state for the Muslims of the subcontinent. Another important feature of the Lahore Resolution was that of the security of minorities. Here it was stated that in the newly established Muslim and non-Muslim states, enough constitutional safeguards should be provided to the minorities with their consultation, especially for the protection of their religious, cultural, economic, political, and administrative rights. The last salient feature of the Lahore Resolution was that of the extent of the state sovereignty. It defined the extent of state sovereignty, and in this resolution authorized the Muslim League Working Committee to draft a detailed constitutional scheme in the light of the principles stipulated in the resolution. This scheme shall ensure that the states created under this scheme have full control over defense, the foreign affairs, communications, customs, and all other necessary subjects. Dear students, now we will discuss about the analysis of the Lahore Resolution. Regarding its analysis, the first point is that the word Pakistan was nowhere used in the text of the Lahore Resolution. Then, the resolution did not demand one Muslim state in clear terms. This ambiguity, due to use of the plural word states, was removed later in 1941. The boundaries of the Muslim state or the states were not defined in the resolution. Then, Lahore Resolution was named Pakistan Resolution by Quaid-e-Azam after the Hindu hostile press ridiculously named it Pakistan Resolution. In the coming years, the Lahore Resolution was referred to as the sole document formulating Indian Muslims' unanimous national demands. The points which were left ambiguous in the resolution were later clarified in a resolution adopted by the Muslim Representatives Convention held at Delhi in 1946. Dear students, now we will discuss about the importance of the Lahore Resolution. The adoption of the Lahore Resolution was no doubt about a significant landmark in the history of the Muslim India. Actually, this resolution is considered as the most significant landmark in the history of our freedom struggle. There are a number of reasons, some of which we are going to discuss over here. The first is that the Muslims of India set their national objectives and determined to achieve these objectives. Muslims had reposed full confidence in the Muslim League. The Muslim League took the issue of Pakistan in her manifesto for the elections of 1945-46. Muslim League emerged as the sole representative of the Muslims in India. Then the Pakistan Resolution gave a direction to the political struggle of the Muslims, and within a short span of 7 years' time, the Muslims were able to achieve their cherished goal, that is, a separate homeland for the Muslims, Pakistan. Dear students, now have a quick recap. So far, we have discussed in this topic about the background of the Pakistan Resolution, the Lahore session of the Muslim League and adoption of Pakistan Resolution, the salient features of the Pakistan Resolution, and then analysis and importance of Pakistan Resolution. Dear students, it's time for the assignment now. As usual, you will have to read and highlight the relevant pages, that is from 15 to 18. Then you will have to learn the definitions and the concepts. Then there are 3 long questions related to this topic. There are no short questions, but remember that any short questions will come from the text over here as well. But from the exercise here, only the long questions, that is question number 8, 9 and 10. 8 is that what important events paved way for adoption of the Lahore Resolution. This is about the points regarding the background we have discussed in detail. Then question number 9, elaborate salient features of the Lahore Resolution. Again, under the heading of the salient features, all those points regarding this question's answer. Then last but not the least, that is question number 10, analyze the Lahore Resolution and determine its place and role in the history of our freedom movement. These last 2 points we have discussed. One was the analysis and the other was that of the importance of the Lahore Resolution. Those all points are the answer of this question. Students, that's it for this lecture regarding the Pakistan Resolution. Any query, especially regarding the assignment, these long questions while marking of these questions answers, and any other point you don't understand, you are always welcome. You can ask in the group during the timetable provided to you. Just try to complete the tasks well within time. Take care. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.